We're here at the 2011 Detroit Auto Show. There's a lot going on.
Yeah.
You guys have a new Veloster
We do.
concept you've introduced, and we're standing in front of the Elantra, and you guys recently introduced the Equus.
Yes.
Now, you're covering an enormous territory.
Yeah.
I mean, if you were Toyota, you'd have Lexus covering cars like the Equus. You'd have Hyundai covering cars like the Veloster and the Elantra. Is that... Why are you doing that? Why are you having one brand that's covering everything from ultra luxury car to something like the Elantra?
You know, Peter, is one of the things that I think is you've seen consistently from Hyundai is we tend to challenge conventional thinking in a lot of different ways, and I give you a ton of examples. But one bit of conventional thinking is you have to have a premium franchise and a separate dealer network to sell a premium car, right? Because that's what Lexus did, that's what Toyota did with Lexus, that's what Nissan did with Infiniti, that's what Honda did with Acura, right? Our idea was different. And we kind of had a proof of concept with Genesis. That was a $33,000 to $42,000 car, which has been very, very successful for Hyundai. Not just in terms of selling Genesis, and we've grown sales every year we've had that car, but it's kind of sent a wonderful halo across the whole Hyundai lineup. And that, I think, is what some of the other luxury plays have been missing, right? Is that when you separate your premium cars, you move them away from the rest of your lineup. And so you're not getting that synergy of benefit to your volume models, to your bread and butter. And that's on the product side, but it's also on the retail experience side. This is not a coincidence. So this year that we've launched Equus, we had a breakthrough on sales satisfaction for the Hyundai brand. We went from among the worst in the industry to the #1 Asian brand. We passed Honda, we passed Toyota, and we passed Nissan with Hyundai dealers. Why? Because we're selling Genesis and we're selling Equus now, and it has really changed the point of view of the dealerships, the retail employees, and what needs to be done to really satisfy those customers. It's been a remarkable breakthrough for us.
You're getting into a period where you have a new Elantra coming out that's going to be built in the U.S. Tell me a little bit more about that, because you're building more cars in the U.S. now. Why are you doing that? Why not continue to make the cars?
Well, we have a global philosophy. You want to build them where you sell them for all the right reasons, right? I mean, in many of them completely selfish. Honestly, you're closer to your dealer network, you've got shorter supply lines, right? You can more quickly make adjustments to production to make those things happen. So for Hyundai, we sold 538,000 cars in the U.S. this year. We've got capacity in 2011 to make 400,000 cars in the U.S. in our plants in Georgia and Alabama. Now, a lot of those, Peter, are going to go to Canada, probably about 50,000 or so.
Now, can you tell me a little bit about where you see Hyundai, where you want Hyundai to be, let's say, in 5 years from now, in 10 years from now, in the American market? You've clearly gotten past the point where you're who is that car brand? People know who Hyundai is now.
Yeah.
Where does it go from here?
You know, we've made a big step. You know, a few years ago, about 10% of American car buyers would even consider Hyundai. We're up to about a third of American car buyers right now, and we've got about a 5% market share. So that's nice. We've got room to grow, but we'd like to grow that consideration further. I think we want to continue to learn to serve the customer in different ways. It's not volume, Peter. Honestly, that's not our quest. The quest is first finding pure ways to satisfy the customer with innovation, new thinking, new possibilities, and deliver products that meet that. Elantra is one great example of that. They all get 40 miles per gallon on the highway. It starts at $15,000. And if you check every option, it's a $22,000 car. It's really amazing. It's got a mid-size interior. And it's that thinking we want to just spread across all of our products, that you can have all of these things and you don't have to pay a premium. This idea that we call modern premium. Same kind of thinking going outside our industry that JetBlue brought to airlines, or Virgin America brought to airlines. You pay the same as American or United, but when you're on those airlines, the experience you have is very, very different. You feel like you're getting more, and you are.
And there's some sentiment, a little more sentiment among consumers now that they're concerned about buying American. Are you worried about a buy American attitude among Hyundai? People looking at Hyundai and thinking, you know what, I'd rather buy a Detroit product. I feel better about that.
Yeah, there are about a third of American car buyers who will only buy American, and typically they mean an American brand. So even brands like ours, where we're building the car, we're building the engine and the transmission, all in Georgia or Alabama, won't pass muster for them. So there is that segment of the American car buying population that feels very, very traditionally bound to some of the traditional U.S. brands. I think what's interesting from the point of view of some of those consumers, from my point of view anyway, is that a lot of those cars are made in Canada or in Mexico, or have powertrains that are made from various parts of the world. So it's becoming increasingly difficult for the consumer that says, I want to buy American, to really understand, well, what is an American car?